Hi, my name's Ann Bencivengo. Once upon a time, my grandfather, Anthony Tata, who everyone called Tony, used to tell me stories about the Prohibition days, and a lot of them were about making wine, grape whiskey, and peach brandy, among other things. And I wrote some of his stories down in his voice with his somewhat broken English because he had come to this country from Italy when he was a young man and spent much of his life here in Huron. Death and Peach Brandy. Dominic was a funny man. Funny in two ways. One was how he was a silent type, sort of mysterious, like on a fall night when you can smell leaves burning and don't know from where but know it's somewhere. The other was that, in the time it would take for the sun to set, he could lighten up like a beam of sunshine suddenly hitting a glass on a windowsill and tell the best jokes in town. And he'd laugh at them harder than the rest of us whenever he was drinking whiskey. Dominic was always drinking whiskey. I imagine he still does. I don't see him much anymore, but when I did, he would start drinking before he did anything else in the morning. He'd come over and pour himself some coffee and open up the cupboard, bringing down a bottle of Canadian mist and fill the rest of his cup up with it, which would make the mist go down pretty quick. Seemed like I was always having to go out for a new bottle. After he got married, his wife made him promise never to take a drink from a whiskey bottle again. That's how he got started putting it in his coffee. By noon, we'd go to the fruit stands along the roads and buy blueberries or whatever else looked good for brandy. Then we'd go back to my house, and Dominic would always bring back down the mist, and we'd end up eating all the fruit we bought and never got around to making brandy. Then one day we were at a stand that was selling peach brandy. Neither of us had tasted a thing ever similar to it, not to say it was better than grape whiskey, because the two just can't be compared. The man at the stand told us that to make our own peach brandy, to take a layer of peaches, then cover it with a layer of sugar, then a layer of peaches, then sugar, then the peaches, then sugar again. His wife told us to use only Domino sugar. We bought some peaches and tried it. The layers sat in the basement until it seemed time to stir them all into a liquid, but it stayed pretty solid. So we went to the closet and pulled out 2 big pillowcases and stuffed them with the makings of peach brandy. We closed the open sides off with string, then kneaded the stuffings in the cases like dough. We must have stuffed them too full because one of them split open like an explosion and there were peaches and sugar all over the place. Dominic thought maybe it had something to do with the molecules in the sugar we used, so we went back to the stand to find the woman, but she wasn't there. We asked the man about her when we knocked on the door and he came to it, and he told us that his wife had died in her sleep the night before. We said that we were sorry and asked about the Domino sugar, and he said he didn't know, but that his wife had all kinds of tricks that worked in recipes. Then he cried. I don't know why, and Dominic didn't either, but we both decided to go to her funeral. I still have 1 bottle of peach brandy in the basement that's been aging for 24 years now. At 25, we thought we'd open it.